this is Self-Made Millennial. I'm Madeline Mann, and today we're talking about when a recruiter ghosts you. Whoa! It's happened to so many of us before. We go through one interview or two interviews or even three, and then suddenly, poof, we don't hear from the company anymore. What happened? In this video, I'm gonna tell you all the spooky reasons why companies stop talking to you in the interview process and totally ghost you. I'll tell you how to respond when this happens, as well as I'm gonna give you an email that works wonders of bringing recruiters back from the dead and finally responding to you and giving you the answers that you need. I grouped the reasons why they may have ghosted you into 4 different categories, and I'll go into more specific examples in each category. The first reason is due to other candidates. There's a lot of ways those other candidates can slow you down, such as the first one is maybe you were one of the first candidates the company interviewed, and so now they're getting all the other candidates to catch up to where you are in the process. Another thing is that suddenly sometimes companies will consider internal candidates. Someone in the company will be like, hey, I actually really want that role, and so they'll pause other interviews and interview the candidate who's internal. Third, an employee could swoop in with a referral saying, hey, my friend is great for this role, and so then they also pause all the candidates and make sure to interview that referral to see if they're a good match. And fourth, they could have an offer out to another candidate. Now, they don't want to tell you that because they don't want you to ditch the whole process, but if that candidate who they gave an offer to ends up declining, they will maybe want to re-engage with you, continue the interview process, and potentially give you the offer. The second reason why that company is just not getting back to you is that they're busy internally. So here's the crazy wackadoodle part about hiring is that teams that are super busy and really need the help are the ones who are hiring, but hiring takes up a lot of time and makes it so that they can't do the things that make them so busy. The company that you're interviewing for may have a big product release that's just in the middle of your interviews and just completely derails the entire interview process because that is the key focus of the hiring manager and everyone in the interview loop. Another thing that happens along the same vein is simply that someone dropped the ball. Maybe the recruiter pings the hiring manager to say, hey, how did that interview go? The hiring manager sees the email but then forgets to respond, and then the recruiter forgets to follow up on their follow-up and moves along, and it ends up just stretching things out. The third reason why you may have been ghosted is that key people need to be involved. You may be going along and your interview process is going great, and then it goes silent because suddenly the people that need to interview you are on vacation, they're out of town, something has happened. I mean, summer, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, there's plenty of these black hole dates where everyone just completely evaporates and it screeches hiring to a halt. Additionally, some companies have extensive approval processes, generally the larger companies, where a recruiter could be simply waiting for an executive to just respond yes to their email, this person can move on. The fourth reason why you're not hearing back from the company is decision paralysis. If I was to put my money on one thing that really leads to the most ghosting of candidates in the job interview process, it would be this internal confusion. Hiring priorities are nuanced and not black and white, and so as an interview process goes on, people in the interview loop start to discuss, why did you reject that candidate? Is this really what we need to be looking for? And the role will actually change and evolve through the process as they start to learn more about what they're looking for. The decision paralysis can also be due to organizational changes, such as the funding situation, or there's an org restructure, or someone from the team leaves and now that changes the makeup of the team. All these things leave the recruiter confused and they don't know what to say to you, and a lot of things they can't say because they're confidential, and so they end up not saying anything and they drop the ball. And I'm not giving excuses for recruiters or whoever is corresponding with you, but I hope that now this gives you a little bit of insight into what's going on behind the scenes. So if they go radio silent on you after your interviews, what should you do? Well, I'll give you 5 things you gotta do. The first thing you gotta do is assume good intent. Assume that the people you're corresponding with do have good intentions. They don't want to ice you out, and that it can be tough as a recruiter, getting everyone moving the right direction. It's like racing sloths. So don't think of them as an evil ghost. Think of them as a Casper, the friendly ghost. You're not so bad. The second thing is do not pause your job search. Do not assume that this is going to turn into a yes. The third thing is the flip side, is that don't give up on this opportunity when they haven't rejected you yet. Don't assume that it's a no. The fourth tip is make sure you send follow-up emails to get next steps. I have a full video on this on how to follow up after an interview that will help you a ton. It gives you exact wordings and scripts of what to say. I'll link that in the description. And the fifth thing that you should do, and now this one is really crucial, so listen up here. After you've already followed up 2 or 3 times and you're in later stage interviews with other companies, send them an "I'm almost off the market" email. This means that once you're in the 3rd round interviews with another company, go send an email to the company that ghosted you and say something like, "I wanted to update you on my timeline. I'm in the final round interviews with another company, though I'm still very interested in exploring the opportunity with XYZ Corp. If you would like to continue the conversation, would we be able to expedite next steps? If not, I understand that you all have to move at your own pace, and I wish you the best going forward." You write this, and then suddenly it's like a freaking seance. They're coming back from the dead. And the recruiter responds to you saying, "Oh, we can't do anything right now. Best of luck on your new opportunity." Or this gives them the fuel to light a fire under the tuchus of the hiring manager to say, "Hey, we are losing this candidate. Make a decision fast. Let's get them in the door interviewing if you really want them." And of course, the third scenario is that they stay silent, which is okay. Just let it go. Well, if people can believe in ghosts, then you can believe in yourself. You're beautiful. If you thought this video was spooktacular, then please hit a like, as well as subscribe. There's new videos coming out every week. Thanks so much, everyone. Wi-Fi high five.